A lot to be proud of, and it all happened so fast, like it's hard to appreciate in the moment.
That is Iowa native and Indiana Fever star, and now Times 2024 Athlete of the Year, Caitlin Clark, looking back at a whirlwind year.
When Marina May hit that three-pointer, the Indiana Fever lost the game. From the start, I've always said the main issue was that the team lacked a solid defense.
So, Caitlin Clark and Christie Sides. Christie Sides, the first WNBA coach that Caitlin Clark played for. And surprisingly, even though in her recent Time article, she was very positive around WNBA coaches in general. She was very positive around how good the quality of coaching was in the WNBA, but she took a not so subtle jab at Caitlin Clark, at Christie Sides today.
Defensively, they were just making it up as they went along. The team's defense seemed to be based on the idea that they should simply let the other team score less than them. But here's where things get interesting. Despite all the challenges and setbacks, the Fever started to improve. Maybe it was the raw talent of players like Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull, or maybe it was the team's determination to keep fighting through tough times. Whatever the reason,
Time magazine recognizes the monster impact Clark had on basketball, saying good luck naming another athlete who altered the trajectory of their entire team sport within 5 months on the job.
Nation to keep fighting through tough times. Whatever the reason, the Fever made an incredible comeback, earning a spot in the playoffs for the first time since 2016. It was an impressive turnaround, given where they started, but even as they celebrated, it was clear something was still missing. The team hadn't succeeded because of their coach, but in spite of her. Christie Sides, the head coach at the time, seemed to be winging it. She never had a deep understanding of basketball strategy.
For college basketball history. She does it with a foul shot. Caitlin Clark becomes the all-time leading scorer in major college basketball history.
Instead resorted to watching YouTube videos to find basic plays. Her coaching system was so basic, it could have been replaced by someone in the stands using AI. The truth is, Sides wasn't up to the job of coaching at a professional level. As the season ended, the Fever's management knew it was time for a change. While Sides had led them to the postseason, the team's true potential was much higher than what they'd shown. To compete for a championship, they needed a coach who could tap into that potential. So, they made the decision to part ways with Sides and move on to the next chapter. With a star like Caitlin Clark on the roster, the Fever needed a coach who could match her level of talent. Sides, despite being a good motivational speaker, didn't have the right skills to help this team succeed. The Fever needed more.
We were just sick that we had lost so many games, and also feeling like we were better than that.
Didn't have the right skills to help this team succeed. The Fever needed more than just someone to motivate them. They needed someone who could help them become a real contender. That's where Stephanie White comes in. The Fever needed more than just a coach, they needed a visionary. White's return to the team is a homecoming of sorts, as she has 25 years of experience with the franchise, both as a player and a coach. She knows the team inside and out, but don't expect her to just keep things the same. White is ready to shake things up and bring fresh ideas. Her track record speaks for itself. When she coached the Connecticut Sun, she led them to a top 3 finish in the league in her first season, earning Coach of the Year honors. The Fever are hoping for the same kind of immediate success with White at the helm. She's ready to bring a new energy to the team.
Obviously, I don't think Caitlin Clark had anything to do with Christie Sides' firing. I think Christie Sides' inability to coach basketball had everything to do with her firing, and I mean that. I think the reason why Christie Sides got fired is because she's not a very good basketball coach. And I think that if you put in any sort of competent basketball mind, you can tell she's not a very good basketball
instincts. It's not just about running plays, but creating a system where the players have the freedom to make plays and use their skills in the best possible way. Coach White's approach to the game is all about giving players the freedom to make decisions and play to their strengths. Instead of relying on rigid play calls or following a strict playbook, she focuses on creating space for players to operate. The system lets players read the situation and choose from a few options, allowing them to adapt to what's happening on the court. What's really exciting is that White's philosophy.
You don't know how to use Caitlin Clark's strengths, you don't know how to play to her weaknesses, you don't know how to draw up a simple out-of-bounds play, you don't know how to calm down muddy waters, you don't know how to call a timeout and relax everybody's emotions, you don't know how to talk to the referees. All you know how to do is wave your arms and defensive slide on the sidelines. And Christie Sides, I'm tired of seeing it every single.
She wants them to trust their instincts, play at a fast pace, and make decisions based on the flow of the game. This is a huge shift from the past style of play, where everything was controlled and set in stone. With White, it's more about creating an environment where players can truly shine, and for someone as talented as Caitlin Clark, this could take her to a whole new level of greatness. Coach White has been following Clark's career.
A lot of the things she did well were like good assistant coach things. Things you want from a good assistant coach. Not your head coach. Was she good in game adjustments? No. Was she good at making subs? No. Was she good at making, like, seeing what the other teams were doing and game planning for that?
With Clark's college coaches to plan for her next steps in the WNBA. White already has ideas for how to use Clark's skills in a structured system that emphasizes spacing and player movement, but within that structure, Clark will still have the freedom to create and do what she does best. But White's vision isn't just about Clark. She's thinking bigger, aiming to develop Clark into a leader for the Fever.
Imagine if you were like a coach from the 80s and you got bumped into today's basketball and it's just, go stop your man, go stop your man. Like, I mean, she was a motivational speaker, but listen to what Caitlin Clark said. Clark knows she can get better. She expresses admirations for Clark's game plans against the Fever. We didn't usually have the best game plan back, Clark said when White stopped by the gym during her workout. Like, here's a ball screen. Caitlin, figure it out.
Things are possible. White's goal isn't just to build a team, she wants to create a dynasty. On top of offense, Coach White is also focused on defense. She wants her players to be committed and to communicate effectively on the court. She's using analytics to shape her defensive strategies, ensuring every player knows their role and responsibilities. It's a team-first approach, and fans are already getting excited about the future. However, we have to be realistic. Turning the Fever into true contenders will take time.
Christie Sides' incompetence is why that game ended up that way. She doesn't call a timeout for about a 17-minute span from the 7+ minute mark of the third quarter to about the final minute of the fourth.
There's patience, hard work, and a clear vision, and Coach White is ready to put in the effort needed to get the Fever to the top. The biggest lesson in coaching is giving players a voice. Many coaches forget this, but when you have talented players, like the ones Coach White has in Indiana, it's crucial to listen to them. Players know what works for them, and if a coach doesn't listen, they'll feel like things are going wrong. Right now, Coach White is laying the groundwork for the future. She's building a strong team and setting up a coaching staff that values player feedback. It's not just about her vision, it's about creating a shared vision with the players. Early reactions from Caitlin Clark and her teammates have been...
My favorite part is that the not-so-subtle shot that Caitlin Clark took at Christie Sides was literally, in my opinion, the one play when Marina Maber hit that three, the reason why they lost that game. I've always said this from the start. They have no philosophy on defense. They have no philosophy on how to play screens. They have no philosophy on when to switch, when to go under, when to fight over. Everybody was out there winging it on defense. Her defensive philosophy was make sure the other team scores less points than us.
And ready for a fresh start. It's as if the entire team has gotten a boost of energy. Coach White is focusing on blending her coaching style with the strengths of the players. She's not forcing her own system. Instead, she's adapting and combining what the team already does well with some new ideas to take them even further. Looking ahead, it's easy to get excited about what's to come. With Coach White's offensive brilliance and Caitlin Clark's extraordinary talent, the Indiana Fever have the potential for some exciting basketball. Add in the development of other key players like Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull, and the Fever are starting to look like a serious contender. With Coach White leading the charge and Caitlin Clark on the court, the future of Indiana Fever basketball is looking incredibly bright. The rest of the league better watch out. Something big is coming out of Indianapolis, and it could shake up the WNBA. As coaches, it's our job to help the players succeed and ensure the right pieces are in place to fill any gaps. Our goal is simple: to win championships and hang banners. Caitlin Clark's rookie year set the stage for an exciting future in the WNBA. Her record-breaking performances and undeniable impact have left fans eagerly anticipating what's next. Now, with Coach White in charge, the Fever are ready to build on that momentum. White's goal of winning championships aligns perfectly with Clark's competitive spirit, and together, they're a powerful force.